Okay, so let's look at question 1. And question 1 says Swiss Appliance toasters sell for $2 per unit, sorry, $20 per unit, and it has a variable cost to produce of $15. And it asks it's estimate that its fixed cost is going to be $80,000. So compute break-even points in units. So if we want to look to complete break-even points in units, we have break-even is equal to fixed cost over minus variable cost. So this is equal to 80,000, which is our fixed cost, right? Divided by our variable cost, our price minus variable cost of 20 minus 15. And that gives us 16,000 units. So that's the first part of the question. The second part, B, asks that we fill out the table so as to prove that break even actually equals to 0. Oh, sorry, profit equal to 0, not break even. So we have sales equals, let's say L for L option equal to 320, all right? And this is for 16,000 units, right? We have variable cost for 3, so let's write that here, 16,000 units, and that times over $20, right? We have variable cost of 2, oh, sorry, that's to be 240. Again, it would be 16 times 15, right? So what do we have for contribution margin? Contribution margin would be 80,000, and then from here we take fixed cost of 80,000, and that means profit would be 0. So that shows the break-even is equal, we found break-even because profit is 0, so therefore break-even is found. It's true, right? Okay, so let's just stop sharing for a while, just checking what's happening here. So we're gonna pause. Okay, so we have found that profit would be 0. That's showing that we have actually found the true break-even. So let's move on to question 2. So we just clear this board. Oh yeah, clear all. It doesn't clear all, but I guess not. Maybe I don't know how to do it. Okay, all right. So we have cleared the board, and question 2 says the Harman Corporation manufactures bats with Larry Walker's autograph stamped on them. Each bat sells for $25 and has a variable cost of $14. There is $40,000 in fixed costs involved in the production process. Compute break-even point in units. Find the sales in units needed to earn a profit of 30,000. So let's go ahead. Okay, so what do we do first? We are going to find, so we're talking about here, okay, what's happening here? Right, I think I'm probably sharing the wrong thing, right? So let's go back to here. Stop sharing for a while. Share. Okay, so let's see if I'm able to do this now. Okay, right. So let's do for Harman Corporation. Okay, so what's the first thing we're going to calculate? Break even, right? Break even. In this case, again, is fixed cost over sales minus variable cost per unit. In this case, we have $40,000 in fixed cost over $25 in price minus variable cost of $14, and that's $40,000 over 11, and that gives us total number of units of bats of 3636 bats. Now, second part, so this is A, right? Yeah, so that's A. So B asks us to find what profit would, what amount, how many units do we need to sell to generate a profit of $30,000? So if we say the number of units we need to sell is Q would equal to fixed cost plus we need to make a profit of 30,000. So let's write it like this first. So say fixed cost plus profit over our contribution margin, which is the same thing as P minus VC, right? So that means we have 40,000 plus 30,000 over 11, right? And that mean that we would need to sell 6 third, sixth, fourth. Awesome. Okay, so that's question 2. So you can pause and take a look at it, and then you, because I'm just going to erase here so I can move to the next question. Okay, so let's erase. All right, so what's our next question? Let's take a look. Question 3, it says, Entco Lighting Company has fixed cost of $100,000, and it says in its units for $28,000, and its variable cost of $15.50 per unit. Compute break-even point. And then for B, it says what's Miss Watts comes up with a new plan to cut fixed cost to $75,000. However, more labor will be required, which will increase variable cost per unit to $17. The selling price will remain at $28. What is the new break-even point? Right? So, and C said, under the new plan, what is likely to happen to profitability at very high volume compared to old plan? So let's look at A. Let's see my whiteboard. Let's go in here. Okay, so what do I have here for 3? Not sure every time I do this, why is this doing this? Let's see here. Let's go. All right, so what are we talking about here is co-lighting. All right, so what else do we need to do? We need to calculate, once again, break even, because that's what A asks us for, right? Break even. And of course, I won't write the formula again. You already know what the formula is. Fixed cost over contribution margin. The contribution margin is found by doing what? P minus VC, price minus variable cost. So in this case, we have fixed cost is going to be 100,000, and we're going to place that to be divided by our contribution margin, which based on $28 minus $15.50 would be $12.50. So that will mean that we will need to sell 8,000 units. Okay, so how about B? In B, what do we have in B? We have new break even would equal to, so now we have a new fixed cost, and what's that? New fixed cost is $75,000. That will be divided by the new contribution margin, right? So our new contribution margin of $11, and that will mean that 6818 units. Hi, who's online? Hello?
I think it's just me at the moment. I don't see anybody else.
No, that's Luke.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Hi, Luke. If you join me, I was already going through the questions.
Yeah,
So
if you're just gonna do practice questions, I can practice at home if I can get access to them online and then just send questions. But if you're teaching a bunch of kids, there's no worries, or a bunch of people, there's no worries. I'll just watch.
no, I'm just doing the questions that we did. So if you like, we can go through the questions here, which it means that you have a better opportunity of able to do them on your own when you do them, because what that's how I do with my first class. I just go through the questions with them because I did the we'll use the video kind of like a lecture, and then we work the questions more like a tutorial. I think that help us to break the class down into two pieces and makes it much more easier, especially in this online environment. Um, that's how I think is the best approach for it. So, and that's the reason for doing the video. And I think we have two other topics to be covered in this semester, and that's how I'm going to do it. Do a video, and then we meet and we go through questions, which at that time you guys may read something when you're not listen to something in the lecture you're not sure about. We can clarify it. We can do questions and so
Okay,
on.
sounds good. I'll just watch along as you're doing it then.
Okay. Well, I would happy if you would work the questions with me, because then it means that you would have gotten a chance to practice them as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to sit here and do them as well. I didn't know how this is going. I'm out doing stuff at the same time, so it's hard to communicate too much. But
Right. So I have posted a link. I think it was on Friday that the class. So do you not read your emails? Because
I do. I didn't. I haven't got a link. I just watched the video the other. Like just finished
yeah.
watching the video here on the train, and that was it.
Right. So I sent a link on Friday to the email that you have listed as your official email. Not in D12, but your official email. I also sent a link at around 11, 12, 16 this afternoon, because I realized that at 12 o'clock no one was online. So I'm not sure what happened to you guys. So I sent another link by email then, but then I saw you uh, I think I told you before that D12 is much more difficult to respond to questions. In fact, I think I respond to your email once in D12, and actually I respond to it in my Outlook, and it didn't go through, and I didn't realize that until probably a day after. So I would prefer if you'd send me emails directly to my email. You know my email address, right?
Yeah, I do.
Right. So send me email directly there, so I don't need to log on to D12 to have to respond to those emails. And I won't be responding to you and not realizing that you're not getting the email, because it's not a direct email. It's just a message that coming from D12. So try going forward, send emails directly to my email, and I'll just respond to you in Outlook without having to log on to the detail to do so. Okay?
Okay, that's no problem.
Okay. All right. So I am up to doing, so what I have in front of me there is actually question 3. So if you can see that with question 3, I've actually done the break-even part. I didn't write the formula. The formula is well known. I'll just write it here anyway, since you know here. So I put break-even is equal to fixed cost over uh, price minus variable cost per unit. And this could also be written as fixed cost over contribution margin per unit. Okay, so in using that, I'm able to find, do you have the questions? Luke, are you able to follow the questions?
I'm trying to follow it, man. Like I said, I'm at work. That's why I figured it'd be easier for me just to do them at home and get back to you if it's just the two of us. But like I said, I didn't know we were doing this online. I haven't got your notifications for some reason.
Mhm. So maybe you need to check your email. just to make sure that the email address that they have for you is still the one you're using, because I just send directly to the email that's there. So I'm not sure why you didn't receive an email, because
I got the notification that you sent to me after I emailed to you saying I didn't get it, but that
right.
was about it. But
I sent, I actually have to log on to send that. But normally that's not where I send my emails from. Let me just look here to see
but
what.
yeah, I'll check my email and update it. I don't know why it doesn't work, but
All right. Let's see if I can see your email address here as to why you didn't get my email. I hope that's not the same case with other students. Okay, so Luke, I have L Hunter 8721 at Conestoga. That's that Conestoga email stuff. So is that still the same one? L Luke, sorry, not L Luke. L Hunter 8721.
yeah, I think it's the same one. Or yeah, that's the right one.
Okay, right. So that's the one that's here. I think all you guys, the email that's listed here, all your Conestoga email address. So I hope you guys are checking your Conestoga email, because that's how I can correspond with you, either through detail to which is much more difficult, or just send directly from my Outlook email to your email. Okay, so are you saying then that you are unable to follow me working these questions, so you probably want to work them on your own?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking at least. I was just kind of looking over it and then wanted to see what was everything was going on. I didn't know how this was working
All right.
in classes, so I've been trying to work as much as I can before I can't. So I'm just kind of sitting here in the office reading or listening to this.
Okay. So you are also on a timeline in terms of you're on your break and you need to get back to work or something like that too?
Well, I can kind of work along with stuff at the moment with this, yeah. But like I said, I was just kind of watching. I'm not practicing much here. I just wanted to see where we were at for the class and what was going on. Like I'm gonna probably log off here in a second.
Okay. All right. So in that case, what I'll do, I'll just put the video up, and well, I'm not sure if I'll be able to put the video up, because I'll have to make sure it's recorded and I'll be able to convert it. But I also put the solutions up for the questions, so you guys can go through them. But remember that you guys need to prepare yourself well for the tests. So there'll be a quiz on week 13. The quiz should have actually been this week, but we're pushing it back to week 13 because of the whole disruption. And then prepare yourself also well for the final exam, which will be week 15.
Will the quiz be online then?
Yeah, I don't think we'll be meeting face to face again for the rest of the semester. So everything should be in line, including your final exam.
It'll just be with McGraw through McGraw or whatever, or will it be on D2L?
I'm not quite sure what the details are yet. I think they're still working out how we're going to administer the final exam, but your quiz will be on D12.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll just practice these online, and then if I have any questions, I'll just email you. Standing it, then
Okay.
I'll
All
probably
right, Luke.
get it pretty good.
Okay. All right. Have a good day.
Awesome, thanks, man. You too.
Yeah, bye. Okay, so we have finished question 3. Now, no, we're not finished with question 3, right? We have to look at, so question 3 says, so we found the new break even, and then it says, question 3, let's just bring it up here so we can read it. Under the new plan, What is likely to happen to profitability at high volume? Must compare with the old plan. So under the new plan, we are using more variable cost and less fixed cost. It therefore means that the company will be less profitable versus the old system, right? So under the old system, it was more it's risky compared to the new system where they're taking less risk, but it also means that it will be less profitable compared to the old plan. Okay, so question 4. We can do question 4 here. Let's see. What's question 4? Question 4 asks us to again. So in question 4, we're supposed to identify the fixed and variable cost, and then from those fixed and variable costs, we separate them into fixed and variable. We're then able to calculate our break-even point. So let's take a try at it. Interesting. There, here we go. I'll just clear this board. Okay, so let's identify our fixed and variable costs. Right, filter. And what do we have here? We have fixed and we have variable costs. Okay, so what do we have? We have rent, and rent will be a fixed amount, so we put it under our fixed cost. Then we have factory labor. The factory labor is a variable one, so we are going to put it over here. The variable charges what we have would be per unit, so we need to make sure. So it's $1.20. Next, we have executive salary. executive salaries, and executive salaries would be 89,000. And then we have, and that's fixed, so I'm putting it on the fixed. We have raw material. And raw material is definitely variable, so it's over here. So we have a variable amount of $1.80, and we have total fixed cost of $189,000. Okay, so far. So now we need to find a break even. So I'm just gonna try to do it over to the side over here. So I'm gonna say break even equal to 189,000 over. So we have $6 as our sales price minus $1.80 as our variable cost, and that gives us 45,000 units. Okay, so I'm just gonna cross the those right over here. 45,000 units. Right? 45,000 units. So we can write it down here again just to make sure you guys see what I'm writing. 45,000 units. Yeah, that's my break even number right there. So we can ignore this part of it here and ignore this part here, and it's right there, 45,000 units. Okay, so let's move to our next question. Our next question will be, oh, Sean, pen and pencil. Man, he has a fixed cost of 80,000. Right, so fixed cost of 80,000. He says the product currently sells for $5 per unit and has a variable cost of 250. It says, Mr. Big, Miss Big, sorry, Mr. Big, the head of manufacturing, proposed to sell the new equipment that will cost, proposed to buy new equipment that will cost 400,000 and increase fixed cost to 120,000, although the price will remain at $5 per unit. The increased automation will reduce variable cost per unit to $2. All right, so it says calculate break even before and after acquiring the new equipment. Okay, so let's go to our screen here and let's clear it. All right, so now my board is cleared. So let's us do this question. So what's the first thing are we going to start with for Sean, pen and pencil? So let's, come on. Okay, guys, so where are we? So this is what we're doing. Excuse me. Sean, pen and pencil, right? So the first thing we're going to do is to find the break even before, right? So break even equal to, we know that the fixed cost is 80,000, right? Excuse me. And we know that sale is $5, and we know that variable cost is $2.50. So that means we will be able to produce 32,000 units. So this is the before. So how about the after? Uh, Break even in this case would be 120,000, all right, over 5 minus 2, so let's turn it into dollars. And that means we have 120,000 over 3 equals 40,000 units. Awesome. So that's A. So this is A. That's a nice A. Okay, let's put a better A there. Better A. Good, right? There we go. So now let's do B. So what did B say? It says we should find if you were able to increase your, if a company was able to increase returns by, if a company was able to receive, to increase its return by 30%, right? What would be the, the fixed cost, first of all, before and then after? So I think we're talking about, so let's do before, and we have a 30% return on fixed costs, right? So if it's a 30% return on fixed cost, and we're trying to find number of units, so we could say Q would equal to what? So the fixed cost, which in the before would be 80,000 plus a 30% return, which would be 30% of what? Of fixed cost, and the fixed cost is 80,000, right? And this would be divided by our 2056, right? So it would be 104,000 over $2.50, and that gives us break even of 4,600. There you go. Units, units. Okay, so we can do the after so as Q is equal to 80. Oh, sorry, not 80, it's 120, right? So let's erase that. If I can get my erase going, let's go. Let's erase that. Okay, and then back to here. We have 120,000 multiplied by 1.3, right? So that's 30%. Agree? That's an increase of 30%. And we still remain that down here, what will we have? We have $3. Okay, so I'm able to write down there, so I'm just going to move it over to the right. So I'll be able to do it over here. So it's going to be 120,000 multiplied by 1.3, and that will be over 3, right? Remember, that's our contribution on this and the after. That's our contribution margin in the after. So this would equal to 156 over 3. And that, my one right there, and that will be 52000 units. There you go. Awesome. Okay, so pause the video and take a look at that, right? So you can pause the video, take a look at it, and you can redo the question as well to make sure you understand it clearly. I'm just going to erase this so I can move to the next question. So that's gone. All right, so let's move to the next question. And what will the next question be? It's a good question. Okay, the next question we are going to look at is colorway cab. Colorway cab computes its break even strictly on the basis of cash. All right, it's strictly on the basis of cash expenditure related to fixed costs. Its total fixed costs are 400,000, but 20% of this is represented by amortization. So its contribution margin, which is price minus variable cost for each unit sold, is $3.6 or $3.60. How many units does the firm need to sell to reach the cash break-even point? So because we are focusing on cash break-even point, we will remove fixed cost that doesn't represent movements of cash. In this case, we know that amortization doesn't involve movements of cash, so we will remove amortization from our fixed cost. Okay, so all right, so let's see what we have here. Or what's the name of our company? Call Way, right? A cab. Good. All right, so we know that cash related fixed cost equal to total fixed cost minus amortization. Okay, so since we know that, we can therefore say that cash related fixed cost would be equal to total cost, which in our case is 400,000 minus the 20% of 400,000. Right? So we have 400,000 minus 80,000 because 20% of 400,000 is 80,000, and that will give us 320,000 in terms of our fixed costs. So now we can find break even, which we remember break even is fixed cost over contribution margin, which is equal to 320 over $3.60, and that means we'll need to produce 88, 8, yeah, that's an 8, 8, 9 units. Awesome. There you go. That's our answer. All right. Again, you can pause the video, take a look at it, do it in your own time. So, just to make sure that you are clear as to how it's being done. All right. So, I'm just going to clear this so I can move to the next question. Okay. There we go. So, board is cleared. The next question, which is 7, says that's air purifier ink compute break even point strictly on cash basis. So again, it's similar to the previous questions, and it says it's expenditure related to fixed costs, right? It's done strictly on cash basis. So its total fixed costs are at 2.45 million, but 15% of this value is represented by amortization. This contribution margin, of course, we know minus fixed cost for each unit is $40. How many units does the firm need to sell to reach its cash break even? So similar to the one we just did, we are going to do again the same thing, right? So we're just going to write it different this time. We're going to say for here, come on, purifier, ink, right? We are going to say that break even is equal to, now we know it's 2.4, right, minus 15% of 2.4, and this will be divided by our contribution margin, which is $40. So you can see that after we find our 2.4 or 15% of our 2.45 million, that will leave us with fixed cost strictly on cash of 2,882,000, sorry, 2,082,500 dollars, and we will put our contribution margin below, and that will give us 52,063 units. Okay, so that is for question 7. I'm trying to write 7 here, and it's not a good 7. There you go. Yeah, that's a 7. Okay, so our final question for today will be question 8. So guys, you can pause the video and watch this, right? So what I'm gonna clear it so I can move to question 8. Okay, so here I am moving to question 8. So question 8 now is a little different from the ones we have been doing. It says Sterling Company, the tire company income statement for 2020 XX is as follows. And here we have an income statement, right? And we have, it says, given the income statement, compute the following: degree of financial leverage, degree of operating leverage, degree of financial leverage, degree of combined leverage, then break even point, and so on. So let's start with degree of operating leverage. And CJ, I like to write the name of my company so we know exactly what's the information we're talking about. Information is Sterling Tire Company. Okay, so Sterling Tire Company. Here. So there you go, I have that. Get that out of the way. It's awesome. Now I can do A. I would need to find degree of operating leverage. Degree of operating leverage is equal to what? It's equal to contribution margin over earnings before interest and taxes. So contribution margin is equal to what? So if we go to our income statement and look and take a look, we see contribution margin is 600,000, right? It's right there. So we see sales minus variable costs will give us a contribution margin, and our contribution margin in this case will be 600,000. And what's our earnings before interest and taxes or operating income? We look again and we see EBIT of 200,000. So we have EBIT of 200,000, and that gives us a degree of operating leverage of 3 times. How about B? B is a degree of, writing off again here. Let's just get my O out and focus on my F, right? So there we go. So my degree operating leverage here would be earnings before interest and taxes over earnings before taxes. So you can see here that what we're actually doing is that it's earnings before interest and taxes with an equal sign. Let's make sure you guys see that it's an equal sign, right? I'll just take that out and we got a proper equal sign. So we have earnings before interest and taxes. So I could actually write this as earnings before interest and taxes minus interest. See, right? So that's how we get that. So we know that earning before interest and taxes is 200,000, right? 200,000. And we know that earnings after taxes are earnings before, sorry, not after taxes, earnings after interest or earnings before taxes is 150,000, right? So take a look in our income statement. You see, I hope you guys have the this of the question so you can follow. So you will see it says EBT is equal to 150. So I just put 150 there. And then I'm able now to determine what will be my earning, my degree of financial leverage, which would be 200,000 over 150,000, which is 1.333 times. So C asks us to find degree of combined leverage, which I'm going to use two formulas. I'm going to first say that degree of combined leverage is equal to degree of operating leverage multiplied by degree of financial leverage, which is equal to 3.0 multiplied by 1.33333, and that should be 4.0 times. Also, I could do degree of combined leverage equals to what? To contribution margin over what? Contribution margin over earnings before taxes. So in this case, we know our contribution margin is 600,000, and we know earnings after tax before taxes is 150,000. There you go. So, so we see that we will still get 1.0 times. So you use either of these, you will still end up with the same answer. So the next part of the question says that degree of combined leverage says a degree comment. So we find degree of combined leverage, right? So let's comment on the impact of 20% increase in sales. And it asks, does the financial operating leverage have a greater impact? So commenting on 20% increase in sales. All right. So 20% increase, ah man, I need to learn to write properly in this thing. Okay, so let's rewrite increase. Increase I N C I E A S E. Awesome. And sales is equal um, to what? In retained earnings. So sorry, not retained earnings, earnings per share, right? So it's equal to an increase of what? Of 20% times 4. So that's 80% increase in earnings per share. Right. So to say it again, a 20% increase in sales will translate to an to 80% increase in earnings per share. Right. So which one would have a greater impact? So as you can see from the degree of operating leverage and the degree of financial leverage that we actually calculate, you can see that here in the case of operating leverage, it is equal to 3.1, 3.0, sorry. And in the case of financial leverage, it's 1.3. So which one is greater? The greater one is the degree of operating leverage. So therefore, this has a greater impact on our result here because it's greater. So after two, operating and financial leverage, which one has a greater impact? It's going to be the degree of operating leverage. Okay, so now we are supposed to find, and I'm just going to take here off so I can clear the board so I can have space, right? So I'm just going to clean here from the top. Okay, so I don't think I need more space on that, right? So let's work with that. Here we go. We're finding break even, right? We already know our break even formula. Break even is equal to fixed cost over contribution margin. All right, so we have $400,000 in fixed cost over our contribution margin, which would be, again, you'll go and look in your question, it's right there. And the question in your income statement, you can see that it tells you that the variable cost is 20,000 tires at $30. So therefore, our contribution margin would be 60 minus 30 to be 30. So we have 30. And that gives us 13,333 tires. That's probably 1334, right? Um, just make sure. Now, since we can't sell, since we can't purchase half a tire, right? We will purchase more. So we will say that this would be, so we say it is 3, 4 tires. So, what's that? Right. Next part of the question asks us, so this is actually D, right? So that's a D. So we are now down to E. Yeah, I'm trying to write from the mouse. Okay, so let's do E. E asks us to, what do you have? Okay. E says, oh, come on, why is it, let's find E. Break-even point, considering interest expense as a fixed cost. So it's asking us to consider interest expense as a fixed cost. Right, so interest, considering interest as fixed cost. So if we're going to consider it as part of fixed cost, it means our fixed cost is going to increase by 400, by 50,000, right? So in that case, break even, because interest is 50,000, right, would be 400,000 plus 50,000 over 30. And that means that we have break-even point of 15,000 tires. Tires, right? Tires. All right, guys. So there you have it. We have gone through all these questions. You have the lecture. So please go back through and do the questions, practice them. If you have any question, you can always email me. And please try and attend classes. It's important you do so. We will be doing our quiz in week 13. And so please make sure to prepare yourself and have a good afternoon. Thank you.